Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. I have a question. Would you be interested in this kind of a Toyota Tacoma? I mean, check that thing out. It's been making its way around all kinds of social media. I don't even know where it came from originally, but I have to say, I think it's pretty cool. Now, I wouldn't really call it a convertible. I'd more call it a top off, or maybe like a soft top, or even a hard panel top, removable for the Toyota Tacoma. Of course, we've got the Jeep. It's not sitting here now because my wife has actually gone off somewhere. But let's take a look in the Toyota Tacoma. Imagine if it was like that Tacoma and the roof, or it had panels, let's say, maybe here to here, and then a full solid panel back here, or maybe even two more removable panels, something like what the Jeep has. Now, I think that that's one of the biggest things that people go after when they're looking at a Jeep, right? It has that convertible feature, something that we, of course, don't have in the Tacoma. Now, obviously, you can get a sunroof to go across here, but it's just not the same thing. So imagine if you're sitting in the Tacoma like I am now, and you were able to pull off the top parts. Now, there'd be a little bit of engineering involved with that, of course, because we have this little control panel area up here, the lights and the crawl control, and this SOS button, which I find useless. Traction control and other things, probably if you have more stuff, like whatever goes over here. But this could certainly be moved down into the dash area somewhere. Maybe in the center console, maybe more buttons over here. I mean, I've put the aux beam switch panel in here, but this could have been filled up with really all of the switches that we have up here. Even the dial for the crawl control could be, or the different terrains, I should say. There is a separate crawl control button. Let's get that right. But all of that could be positioned either over here to the left of the steering wheel, or maybe over here somewhere with a little bit of reconfiguration for these buttons. I mean, you do have a little bit of space down here. And of course, I haven't even used this area, and we have a blank next to it. So I think there's room to do something like that. Of course, the other thing that you'd have to overcome, I suppose, is the shark fin antenna. We have that on top, but that could easily be moved, or maybe even set back here somewhere. Who knows? It could even be integrated into the windshield somehow. Of course, the only problem with that is then we're going to have a windshield that has wiring in it and stuff, and that would be more expensive, particularly if you live in an area like I do where you're prone to chips and things because of stuff flying off of the asphalt down there. But wouldn't it be cool? I think it would be pretty neat myself. It'd definitely be something that I would be interested in. And I think that Toyota might actually pull over some of the Jeep people, because having the top off the Jeep, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the big draws, I think, for getting a Jeep product at all. Although I often wonder how many people actually take the tops down. I know there are some, but if you look at someone like my wife, she might actually just throw back this part that's across here, what I'll call a Targa top kind of look. But she never wants to take the whole top down, you know, take the sides off and all that stuff. And that's an advantage, I guess, that you would get in having some sort of a soft top or a hard panel Tacoma, is that you could just go ahead and take those off and still have the hard sides that you wouldn't have to worry about removing windows. Now, would Toyota actually ever do this? Well, that's the million-dollar question, I suppose. It would be a heck of a departure, but it certainly would give them a new product, something a little bit different, where they may be becoming a little bit stale, I think. And that's even stating that, you know, we have the new 2024 redesign coming with its 4-cylinder turbo and redesigned body panels and all that stuff. But they don't really have anything else really new. And there's a lot of people out there that really don't care much for that 4-cylinder turbo version. So maybe this would be something that would maybe bring a few more people back or over to Toyota, because you then would have that convertible feel or removable top feature. Something, again, that I think would just be awesome in the truck. So I'm curious to know if there's anybody out there that would be interested in that. I mean, imagine if you're a big-time off-roader or even a camper or whatever, you go out, you get to drive through the wilderness with the top open. I mean, after all, you're supposed to be communing with nature, right? What better way to commune with nature than to have an open air field? Or is the sunroof really just enough? You know, I can see the day coming when Toyota will have some sort of a panoramic or dual sunroof in the Tacoma. You know, something up here on the top where you can actually see all the way to the back or reach the back there. I can see that coming eventually. That really wouldn't be enough for me. I'm not a big sunroof fan anyway, but having a removable top and looking at the way that truck looks, and that's the other thing. You know, if Toyota were to actually do something like that, I think they would have to come up with a design that's very similar to what we're seeing in that picture. Isn't that awesome? And I love it in that color too, but imagine it in some of the other colors, like the electric lime green that I have in this Tacoma, which, by the way, is a very polarizing color. There are a lot of people out there that don't like this color, and for sure, they love to tell me they don't like this color. I find it kind of amusing because color is really a personal choice, right? I mean, we don't all like the same thing. And if I'm being honest, when I first saw this lime green color, all it reminded me of is some sort of city type worker truck. You know, something that had a color on it where all the motorists could see it for safety purposes. But you really have to experience this color in person because it really pops, particularly in bright sunshine. A little bit filtered out here today, but it is a relatively sunny day. So leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Would you be interested in a design like this picture shows you for the Toyota Tacoma? Is it something that you think maybe could bridge the gap between what we currently have and a Jeep or Jeep Wrangler type vehicle that would give us both the capability of the four-wheel drive Tacoma and the luxury, I guess, or the fun of having a removable top? One other thing I want to mention, as far as marketing goes for Toyota or financial benefits, I guess, there certainly would be more, in that I think they could draw a broader crowd and add all kinds of accessories to it as well, like bags and holders and racks and things like that to go ahead and store those top panels in. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.